How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiemon and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man episode 10. So, what did I think about this week's episode? I absolutely loved this week's episode. I thought this week's episode was awesome. It was very funny and also very sad with a lot of the moments we saw between Aki and obviously the funny moments with Power, Denji, and the goat Kishibe. Now, Mappa, I thought they knocked it out of the park. I thought this episode was awesome. Now, before I get to this week's episode, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all Chainsaw Man content going forward, as well as all the content I'll be providing in this channel. I'm currently uploading Chainsaw Man, Hunter x Hunter, and Berserk content, but I'm looking forward to uploading more content in the future. So if you want to stay up to date, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can keep up with it. Now, with that being said, let's get into this week's episode. So with this week's episode, we pick up where we left off in last week's episode, which was pretty much the aftermath of the entire Katana Man incident, which was that we see that Aki's in the hospital because obviously Aki got demolished by Katana Man. He got one-shotted, in other words. And we pretty much see that how we pick up from the last week's episode is that we see that Aki wakes up from the hospital, and what does he wake up to? Obviously he wakes up to Denji and Power just pretty much chilling, eating his get well food, and it's hilarious. Like, he's just like, what the heck? So what are you guys doing here? It's like, oh, we're here, we're just chilling, and we were just eating your food and why not. And it's obviously these two rascals, they're just the worst. Like, they can't even let Aki relax by himself. Like, so pretty much Aki tells him, hey, y'all need to get out. But before he says that, he asked him like, hey, did anybody survive besides you guys? And he was like, oh, well, yeah, Kobeni survived that, and then that glasses guy survived, but he quit right afterwards. So, and then Denji gives Power some crap about like, oh, well, you left, like you ran out of the scene, and Power's like, no, I didn't, I went to get some food. And Denji's like, nah, you were scared, bro. Which, let's be honest, Power was scared, bro. Like, she was capping. Like, she was a master at capping right there. So pretty much going forward, Aki tells him to get out of the room, which they do, and then you see that pretty much Aki breaks down because, like, obviously he knows Himeno's gone, and it's sad, bro, because, like, Himeno was our girl, and we know that Himeno and Aki go way back. Like, that was Aki's first partner, and that was his best friend, to be honest. So it's seeing the aftermath of just Aki seeing that Himeno's gone, and it's sad, man. Like, it really, it's very depressing, and I feel bad for Aki. But who doesn't feel bad about it? It's Denji, because you see, he actually was gonna go back to the room because he wanted to get more food. Yeah, he wanted to go get more food, and what you see is that he hears Aki crying. He's like, oh, this is awkward, I'm just here to get some food, like. But he doesn't open the door. He's just hearing the sob, and he's like, oh. He's like, wait, why? Yeah, I understand why he's crying. They go way back, and why not? He's like, but think about it. She's technically my first friend ever, because, like, she offered herself as my friend, and yet I don't feel anything. And then Denji starts contemplating, like, well, like, what if Power died? Would I feel bad? And he's like, nah, I wouldn't care. What if Aki, like, passed away? He's like, nah, I wouldn't care. It's like, what if Makima died? And then he, starts to think about it, and he goes, if Makima died, yeah, I would feel bad about it, but probably after 3 days, I'll get over it and why not? And then he was like, it's like, once Pochita took over me, did my heart, like, become, like, stone, like, cold as stone, and am I emotionless now? And then you cut to him pretty much being like, oh, whatever, all that depressing, serious stuff, we don't need none of that. So that kept perfectly in the tone of Chainsaw Man, which I love that scene. And I just, that represents Denji's character as a whole. He's like, man, y'all talking about some deep philosophical stuff? Nah, I don't care, I ain't got time for that. So following that up, we actually see the people that picked up Makima from the train and why not, and they go to Aki's room, and they're like, hey, are we interrupting you? Because he's crying. And he was like, oh, that's okay. He's like, no, I get it, man. A lot of stuff went down. He's like, we're actually surprised that you didn't quit. We were assuming that you would have quit because of what happened and why not. And Aki's like, no. And then they pretty much tell him, like, listen, Division 4 has been, formed into one, and now they're all going to be, all under one training. They all got to be trained pretty much. And they're saying that you we're giving you another contract with another devil so you can get a power up and whatnot, because you find out that Aki, he can't use Khan anymore, because what happened is he tries to talk to the fox devil, and he says Khan, and Khan doesn't show up, and they explain that pretty much what happened was Aki used Khan too recklessly, and Khan didn't like being used so recklessly. In other words, the second Khan got bodied by Katana Man, Khan was like, yeah, I'm not doing this again, because obviously he got messed up, he got destroyed by Katana Man. So Khan don't want the smoke, so he's like, I'm not fighting none of these OP devils and whatnot. So pretty much we see that they're telling him like, yeah, you gotta get another contract, because you're kind of nerfed now. Also, very important, you find out that Aki only has 2 years left after using the curse sword, because he has the curse sword like, hey, how much time do I have left? And the curse sword tells him 2 years. So right now we know that Aki doesn't have that much time, so his goal is to kill the gun devil, and he needs to do this ASAP because he doesn't have that much time in this earth. So yeah, a lot of big revelations came out in this episode. So following that, we cut to Power and Denji, and you see that they're going to be introduced to the person that's going to get them stronger. And before they introduce to the guy asks Denji and Power, hey, did you guys, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions, and pretty much the questions are, number 1, did you feel bad when your comrades died? And they're like, no, didn't care for it, whatever. And then he's okay, question number 2, did you guys want revenge? It's like, nah, I don't care for it, it's overrated. And then number 3, the question was, whose side are you, the human side or in the devil side? And then they both answer pretty much either the winning side or the side that will take care of me. So the guy pretty much tells them, hey, you pass, my name is Kishibe. And Kishibe is the GOAT. I love this dude, he's awesome. Kishibe is that old sensei that does not put up with any crap, and I love it. This guy's hilarious, and he's a mess because he's an alcoholic too, but he can back up what his words, because he's talking mad crap, but he can back them up, because you find out that he is the strongest devil hunter alive. Now, he might be old, but don't underestimate his power, because Kishibe is that dude. You do not want to underestimate Kishibe. Kishibe is a skilled combatant in this universe, and he's nobody to trifle with. So following that up, pretty much they tell Power and Denji, hey, you gotta train with this guy because you gotta get stronger. You guys got bodied. Pretty much, you guys got destroyed by Katana Man and the Snake Girl, so you guys need to get stronger. And what Kishibe tells him, like, okay, I'm gonna train the shit out of you guys, and what's gonna happen is the second you guys are able to defeat me, that's when I'll know I'm doing a good job. So until then, you're gonna train with me. And what happens is every day they're gonna train, and right off the bat, he gives them a hug, and they just get completely shattered. Like, they get their asses beat, and they're like, they can't even move. Like, oh, what was that? And Kishibe explains, like, oh, you see, I broke your necks and your spinal cords, so yeah, you guys can move. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, we're starting our training right now. And Kishibe just tells them, like, you know what, let's give me everything you got. And they're like, okay. So before any of that, he gives them some blood because he destroyed them, and he's like, you see, I'm just a human, I can't heal like you guys, and because you guys have the benefit of just healing anytime you drink blood. So they drink the blood, they get back to normal, and they're like, okay, so go at me at full strength. And they try to, and they just get one shot. Like, this Kishibe just makes them look like they're a bunch of scrubs, and it's hilarious because Kishibe is an old dude, and he doesn't care, he's just drinking, he's a drunk, whatever. And following that up, we see that Kishibe tells him, by the time I'm done training you guys, I'm gonna turn you guys into the most badass of the badasses. And it's awesome. It's an awesome quote. I love that. Kishibe is just GOAT. I love this dude. This guy is one of my favorite senseis in all of anime, and if you guys could tell from this episode, because this guy is amazing. I love this guy. But following that up, we go back to the Aki, and we see that pretty much Aki's whole thing has been that he's trying to find a new devil, and they take him to this place, and you find out that there's a place within the association where they keep devils that have been captured alive, and people, they keep them just so they can make contracts with other humans. And you see that Aki is actually going to be contracted with the future devil. Now, the future devil, we hear from the other two hunters that they're like, yeah, the the Future Devil's no joke, the last person that there's been 2 people have made contracts with him. Now, the first one, I believe he lost, the sense of smell in both of his eyes, and the other guy lost half of his lifespan. Like this, the Future Devil, there's a big price you have to pay to use his power. Now, Aki doesn't care because he's a man on a mission. He wants revenge. That's his whole theme, and he's willing to put anything that the Future Devil asks for. Now, going back to the power and Denji and Kishibe, we see that Kishibe is like, you guys suck, and Power and Denji, they're like, okay, we gotta use our minds on this, because this guy has been defeating us because we're going head on. But what if we're super smart like those anime and manga characters? And they're like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So they just put glasses on and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go smart mode now. And they try to fight Kishibe, and I'll tell you what, I'll give them props, and even Kishibe gave them props. Like, yeah, you guys were very innovative the way that you try to take me down and why not. Power had some water bottles, and she tried to use the blood that was inside the water bottles to take him out by surprise, throwing a spear, Denji from behind, sneak attacks, and they all failed. And pretty much they were like, wow, how did we fail? And then Kishibe tells them, hey, you guys failed because first of all, you go way too head on, Denji, and second of all, Power, once you use all your blood, you become anemic and you pass out. He pretty much gives him like advice, like, yeah, don't do that shit. But he's like, I'll tell you what, let's continue. And then they continue the training, and then you eventually see that they do, land a hit on him. And he's like, okay, you guys did pretty good. Going from here, your training's kind of done. We'll do this only once a week instead of daily. But you guys are good. He's like, okay, cool. What's the mission? I was like, and Kishibe pretty much told him like, yeah, now that you guys got your power-ups, and why not? We're gonna go head on and fight Katana Man and that snake girl that killed Himeno, because screw those guys. And they're like, whoa, what? He's like, yeah, we're gonna do that. And if you guys fail, then that's the end of your division. We're gonna hunt you down and take you out. But yeah, we're gonna do this. And they're like, okay, obviously cannot fail. So lastly, we see that Aki meets the Future Devil, and the Future Devil, he looks, he's great. I love the way they the voice acting on the Future Devil, because he's awesome. He's funny. I think he's funny. He's hilarious. And it's cool. It's a cool moment. Aki pretty much tells him like Aki ain't afraid of anything. And he's like, okay, I'm down to get the contract with you. And the Future Devil's like, okay, put your head in my stomach and you'll see what your fate is. And you find out that the Future Devil, just the only thing that he has Aki in return, he tells him, okay, I'll let you use my power, but in exchange, let me live in your left eye. And he's like, okay, that's it. And he's like, yeah, because I'll tell you what, my only reward for this is that I want to be there when you die, because you're gonna have the most miserable death that you could ever imagine. And then he's like, you want to know? And Aki's like, no, I don't have time for any of that. And that's pretty much how the episode ends. And yeah, the episode was awesome. I think they knocked it out of the park, just like every single episode Mappa has done. And I love this episode. This episode was awesome, man. Like we got introduced to one of my favorite characters in Kishibe, as well as one of my favorite devils in the Future Devil. Very wacky and funny and whatnot. But yeah, overall the episode was awesome. And I can't stress this enough. I think Mappa has been knocking it out of the park, and I'm excited for next week's episode, because we're almost done with this first season of Chainsaw Man. And I just gotta say right off the bat, this season has been amazing, and I can't wait to see next week's episode. But with that being said, what did you guys think about this week's episode? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys think it was all right? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. I also want to thank you guys so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man and anime and manga content in the near future. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.